moderator hit us.
This is, by the way.
Cheers,
we
Oren.
can introduce ourselves.
Cheers. Clank. Clank.
Hi on Nugs, baby.
I'm Eric.
Oren.
Ciera.
O-R-E-N.
CEO. If you want an easier way
CEO podcast.
to remember.
CEO podcast. That's pretty good, bro. And people will be like, yo, I want to actually get knowledge from CEOs in this day.
I came up with it today.
I love it.
So we'll start off first round of easy, see what our opinions are, what we got going. And then we'll get higher on Nugs and come back and see how we feel after that.
Sounds good to me, man.
Shit.
Bring on the questions.
All right, bring it on.
Well, I figured the season just started, right? There's been, 5 games?
True.
Okay, so what are our thoughts on the season so far? Specifically Nuggets, but, can go any direction. Let's start pretty broad here.
I think, so far for Nuggets fans, we started pretty good. A lot of the questions coming into this season, obviously we were the best team in the world last year. We lost, Bruce Brown, Jeff Green, a little bit of the depth in our bench there. So questions were kind of the bench and how I think some people might be thinking like our defense, how well does that hold up? It was something that was real poor in the regular season and then kind of got better in the playoffs. And I think so far starting out, our defenses look pretty solid, pretty consistent, and some of the second-year guys, Christian Brown, Peyton Watson, been stepping up. Zeke Najee's looking good. So it doesn't seem like we missed too much depth-wise.
Zeke has great hair. His hair is always flowing.
Gotta give him hair points.
Always flowing and balanced.
Gotta get hair points.
I would say this about the Nuggets, guys.
He has a future as a Head and Shoulders spokesperson. Just saying, if he keeps up this trajectory,
doesn't work out for
him and Troy Polamalu
can hand him the torch.
I will say this, guys, though. I think the Nuggets, and this is not that hot a take, they're better than last year. Everyone else got better, but the Nuggets got better too. You can look at the 4-1 record and say, all right, the real threat to the Nuggets repeating is them getting complacent and losing that drive, but I just don't see it. Our defense is better than last year. If you look right now, we're number 5 in defense, and expect that to hold, if not even go up, just because we have a deeper bench than we did. Okay, we lost Jeff Green, granted. We lost Bruce Brown, that hurts, but you got Peyton Watson and Brown, I guess it's the new Brown, whatever you want to say. Not just playing well, but flashing a lot of potential. Reggie's running the second unit. He's been getting a bunch of steals. KCP is racking up the steals. He's going to be first team or second team All NBA with the defensive.
We've already started the campaign early with that. Gordon had the post-game speech one time where he was just like KCP for Defensive Player of the Year.
He's going to be up there, guys. He's going to be up there. But I will say this: 4-1 in the only game was a game against the Nuggets where we just shot cold as ice in Minnesota. Yeah. I think that this team is not just better than it was last year, but more cohesive, and everyone knows the roles. So I think it's going to be a good team. I think the defense is better.
I like that.
It'll be a long season. We'll see how some of these other newer teams can adapt over the season. And I think certainly have room to grow. But right now, I'd say we look about the best in there, along with Boston. They look pretty good too.
Yeah, Boston's scary.
Oh, yeah.
Can they provide it in the playoffs? They do have Drew now.
I did want to say about our
Drew
depth.
Drew with a J.
He's a
J. But I do want to say about our depth and stuff that a lot of the issues with that last year were us trying a bunch of weird stuff and playing a lot of Bones minutes for half the season where he got shipped off. Yeah. And I like that we eventually went with this plan of our main offense is so unreproducible that we're just not going to try at all and stuff and do nothing like when we play with Jokic, and usually our bench squads are just heavily defensive. Everyone's a good defender. Try to just have the non-Jokic minutes just be a low-scoring grind, and we don't lose much ground, and then he can come back in and start firing on all cylinders. So that's been a kind of cool switch it up. And everyone on our team has the capacity to be a real strong defender. I think when they're locked in.
I agree. MPJ's been making more of an effort. MPJ's been racking up the rebounds. You seen that? Crazy.
He's kind of continued his poor
He's
shooting
passing.
though to some degree though, or at least off and on. But he's kept up the good rebounds and defense and hustle.
Yeah.
All right, is that a good opening volley? Should we get higher now?
Let's get
I think it's
high on Nugs.
All right, we'll be right back.
Read out that orange. No, I get it. I know we're recording that part, but we won't post it. You might get it, you might not. So if you're getting it, you're welcome. This is your bad. Damn, that Chad had to worry. If we can bring that out, I'm like, number 1 for you, everyone?
This is the first dab sequence.
Damn.
All right.
And it is 8:02.
And we're back after the dab. All right.
Post dab.
Time to continue higher on Nugs than we were before. Let's keep going with some questions.
All right.
Topics.
Yes, topics,
general.
questiones.
It's gonna get spicy.
So,
it's spicy Nugs.
Thanks for giving me a little insight into your guys' thoughts on the season, but let's talk a little bit about who you think the Nugs' toughest competition is going to be. I know there's a few, front players, people in the limelight. What do you guys think?
You talking about in the playoffs?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like who's gonna stop us from repeating?
Okay, yeah.
The baseline expectation at this point is we're the champions. Who's gonna take the crown potentially? Who are we looking out?
I'm convinced.
As serious contenders to beat us in a best of 7.
Yes.
No, that is exactly what I was gonna say. I think it is the Suns or the Warriors, bro. Those are the two I'm worried about.
Suns and Warriors.
I won't expand on that right now, but those are the two that I think are gonna stand in the way.
We got Booker.
Could stand in the way.
Who else just got on the Suns?
Somebody knock on what they don't.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a homer, so.
The Warriors are always a little scary.
The Warriors have been starting pretty good this season, but
like
I don't know. I'm not sure that they've gotten any better than they were last year. Losing to the Lakers, who also don't scare me that much. I'd be more afraid, and they haven't really shown it yet, but I feel like the Kings are a team that's just short enough of they have the young talent that just finally got to their first playoff last year and got bounced, and now having that experience to build upon a little, I wouldn't be surprised for them to start being a serious contender. Just watching their offense play last year was really dynamic and cool, and De'Aaron Fox is a beast and pretty unstoppable when he gets going. And if he didn't break his finger, they probably would have beat the Warriors. Some other sneaky ones.
I was gonna say you're gonna take the Kings as your.
No, I'm just laying out some sneaky ones before who I really think.
I don't believe in the Kings, but I appreciate that you do. A lot of people do.
And then, of course, coming off our last game, which didn't go so well, I have to mention the Timberwolves. That was a team that there were a bunch of interviews after last playoffs of players who said that was our toughest series, people in the organization. Just I think matchup wise, if Anthony Edwards is going off and they got their little double center experiment seems decent against Jokic, because a lot of people have been doing this anyway, where they don't really put their center on Jokic and they kind of want to put the 4 on him and leave the center to defend the rim for the cutters and everything. And that's kind of their plan already. Leave Gobert around in the center, and then they have a really big 4 in Cat, who's another center that can kind of come out to the elbow and give Jokic a little bit of trouble maybe.
I was gonna say Tim Conley, the former Nuggets, right? executive guy. He's the running the ship over at Minnesota, so he knows Jokic. He knows the matchup. It's sort of like a Kings Warriors type situation where Mike Brown, he knows the system and the players. So that's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. I still think
ultimately,
we smoked them.
despite I was gonna say, despite mentioning both those younger sort of teams I could see stepping up, I think it still has to be the Celtics right now. They've just looked like the best team in the league.
Yeah, we've just been talking about the West.
Currently,
the East is a different beast. When Ciera asked that, I was thinking about the teams in the West.
I'm fine in the West.
Because I do.
Yeah, we could take it either way.
I think the Warriors with Chris Paul is a tough matchup for us. I think we win both these games, but both these series. But I also think the Phoenix Suns, right, given healthy and Beal.
The Suns definitely have the potential to get there, but they haven't shown anything yet that scares me that much.
Not yet.
It's not there, but it's coming. Or
I mean, bro, Harden's on the Clippers now. Like, we're recording a day or two after.
That's true,
and this
sneaky.
Is it's going to be a bloodbath in the Western Conference, regardless.
Harden, Westbrook,
but I don't
Kawhi,
see
PG.
It's knock on wood. That's just how I feel.
Does Harden do enough to
Coming out the East, the Celtics could. But
does Harden do enough to take Clippers into a real contender? Do you think?
No. I mean, it gives them more depth. I do think they won the trade because if one of you guys is injured, which they often are on the Clippers, James Harden can fill in, but he's not clutch in the playoffs. He hasn't been proven to, so it doesn't really move the needle for me, man. I think
it was kind of funny
Suns would be a fun matchup.
That the Sixers really wanted like Terrence Mann or whatever, or maybe Norman Powell, and the Clippers just held, knowing the Sixers have no leverage, and they're like, no, we give you no one, and you'll take it, and they're like, okay. They got a couple picks.
Yeah, if you're the Sixers, like, it was the only decision you could make, but that doesn't make it a dub. You know what I mean?
Dropping gems. Okay.
We got another one.
Yeah,
well, speaking of competition, I just want to know, like, what are our thoughts? It's the hot name in the press, Wembanyama. Like, he obviously scored 38 points last night. We didn't get to watch it, but, like, the highlights were... I had to watch it twice. I was like, what? Hold on, let me run it back.
Speak for themselves.
No, we did watch
and, like, will he be a threat? Like, how are we feeling about...
I mean, not yet.
He's a little young, yeah.
He is a threat himself already, but the Spurs are not. And I don't think Wembanyama can... I can't wait till he plays Jokic. I think Jokic racks up foul trouble on Wembanyama. But I still think that given a couple of years, Wembanyama's smoking everyone. So right now, I don't fear them, no. But I think he is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're quite all there yet, but Wemby's good. And there are some other good pieces around there. Sohan, I don't know, they've been playing him at like point guard and stuff. Is interesting experiment. But he can hustle. Dude's got some game, and Devin Vassell's been knocking down threes and stuff.
He's nice. He's nice, bro.
So they got some alright young players around him, and Wemby himself is just, I don't know how to put it into words. He's just something else, and just likely to be the best player in the league within the next 5 years or so. Hopefully he doesn't have any injuries, because dude's already just insane and can do things that no one else on the planet can do. And he has so much room to grow too. It's not like he's the perfect version of himself yet. This is literally his first year in the league. He's played 5 NBA games and he's 19 years old. So he's just only gonna get so much better. And that's the scary part.
That's the scary part. That's where Slender Man, scary, bro.
Because he already looked like the best player on the court last night.
That's right.
With KD and Booker out there playing.
Yeah, bro. He's not like KD light. He's like KD.
Warps, like defensively, just warps the way that teams play against you. Like,
dude.
You could kind of see the Suns by the end of that game are just like unwilling to even try to shoot the ball on the half of the court that he's on and just like get it away. And it's going to take some adjusting for the rest of the league. And then his offensive game's still improving, but he was hitting on all cylinders last night.
Can I make a prediction, a crazy one, about the Spurs and the Nuggets this year? I think that's a series the Nuggets sweep, and I don't care. I'm not going to expand on that. Check back with me and roast me if I'm wrong at the end of the year. I don't think the Nuggets lose a single game versus the Spurs.
Yeah,
our ball movement is... I mean,
I'm not sure the Spurs will even make the playoffs, to be honest, because the West is pretty deep. But they'll like, I think they'll make the play in.
He'll get blocks though.
And then I'm not sure exactly what that'll look like, but They could squeak in. I could see them getting the 8 seed and us the 1 or like the 2-7 or something.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's more likely, I think, that they get like bounced out in the play-in or something.
We were just talking about the T-Wolves too. Do you think are you more scared of the T-Wolves than the Spurs? Because
currently.
And
for sure.
Yes, but give it a couple years, it'll probably be flipped.
Yeah, they're not like a team that's ready to compete just yet, but they've
Wemby's
shown already that they're better than people thought.
Yeah, that is very factual. He's a rookie and he might get.
Like I do think them beating the Suns twice in a row is like they're. I wouldn't think they would beat the Suns in a playoff series or something. And especially with Beal back.
Hey, I like it. A lot of good opinions and thoughts, and I agree. I like our sightings here. Okay, so
do we need another break?
Yes, because we need to keep dabbing. Remember,
that's part of the deal.
All right,
this is
round 3 will be the highest on the Nugs we can be. Coming back. That one we're gonna have to check our producers.
In England, you guys have like Suffolk County. I would think the shocking.
That's like a movie, like drama.
It's the sequel to Human Centipede. They tried to turn it into like a romantic dramedy kind of angle, and it really wasn't.
Sleeping with the Centipede.
We're back for our last round of topics here on High on Nugs. Hit us up with it. We're ready to go. We're pretty high on these Nugs. They're also getting ready to start right now as we're.
Yeah, bro.
This is filmed right before Mavericks Nuggets here.
Whoa.
With our
the court
first,
is not hideous.
That's
I think
kinda
the court
crazy.
is actually way better than the uniforms. Because
You
our
guys
city
can see
uniforms
this
suck.
court.
But that
Hopefully
court
you see- no,
does
the
not
court
suck.
sucks.
I think that's a cool looking.
Blue
ass-
street.
Yeah, actually, moderator, we're gonna go ahead and hijack this one and make it about the city uniforms because
Yes,
we already
okay.
ran
We're gonna
through that
we're
earlier.
gonna go out of format.
I mean, they're not worth it this year.
Yeah. They're kind of not that good in general league wide. That said, the Nuggets one I think I'm okay with. It's meh. They're fine. I think it's better than last year's just because those were so just safe and boring. And it was just like a slightly different. It's like instead of our white jerseys, let's wear off-white jerseys that are the same thing. And you're just like, ooh, that's exciting. That we're like, I feel like City Edition is the time to like do something a little different.
I smell a
and,
disagree
like,
over there.
take some risks, So at least this one's a little bolder. We got some, random numbers on the front. I guess that's supposed to be how high up we are.
5280.
But it's like yellow.
Do we need to
yellow
broadcast
and blue.
it? Do we need to broadcast that we're 5280?
I was gonna say not that it
I like the
matters,
high
but
contrast.
the uniforms are terrible, bro. The ones last year were way colder, but that's my opinion. It doesn't really matter because most of the city jerseys are mid this year. I think ours is pretty bad.
And obviously, I think
because the 5280 could have been done dope, but it's just ugly with the numbers.
Okay,
kind of
true.
Numbers. That's just how I feel.
I think
But
obviously,
the court
like
looks cool. I would say the court looks cool.
most Nuggets fans can agree that the year they had the black rainbow jerseys
those
were the coolest by far, and they should just do those all the time.
Man.
Court is dope.
That's why Utah did well
This is
with
the
their
court.
like throwback retro jerseys. They look cool because they, that's classic, man. That's good, dude. Yeah. But San Antonio, I really like theirs. I thought theirs were good, man. I thought they had some good ones. Utah, like I said, had good city jerseys. I think that Cleveland had good city jerseys.
Yeah, overall, last year I remember there were more ones
Most
that I
of
was
them are
jealous
good.
of,
Most
and I
guys
was like, damn, they have a cool one. And this year, there's like not really. Everyone's like, the coolest ones are just kind of like pretty plain and clean and simple. But there's nothing real crazy cool different that I'm super jealous of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But there probably aren't as many awful, terrible ones either.
It's a down year. It's a down
The
year.
Nets one is kind of.
We've had better. We've done.
We've
clowny.
had better.
It wasn't about the fashion this year.
No.
That was.
What were the worst ones for you? Do you remember?
But
yeah,
this
dude,
shirt from last year.
The worst ones. Okay, we talked about the Nuggets.
The
they
Nets,
might not be the worst ones, but I will definitely say that they're all very bad. For the most part, Atlanta's are terrible. Washington D.C.'s are absolutely hilarious. I don't know if they're.
I can't picture it. See, I need
I
like
kinda-
reference.
I
I
kind of
need
like them
like.
just because they're so bad, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
I will say that there's a lot of shitty ones, man. It's almost like hard to separate them in my head. Miami's awful, complete, and they were so dope in the past. They had the Vice Miami Vice colorways. They've been known for dope ones. The Heat culture ones suck, man. A lot of them suck, so don't take it hard, Heat fans. But damn, garbage. And then fucking a lot of them were garbage, but some weren't garbage. I think that I liked Minnesota's. I thought those are kind of dope.
Yeah, the Minnesota and the Indy, the Pacers ones, I've kind of like mixed on. I'm not sure if I don't like it or if it's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
But some of the like plain clean ones were kind of cool. The Spurs is just like their same one, but with what was it, like an orange trim, and I don't know. I thought like the Bulls was alright.
I thought
Just the ones that are kind of plain with a cool clean border and stuff. Detroit had a good one.
Oh yeah. And I think we both agree the bad ones, dude, were definitely included with the ones that just didn't try at all. Like Orlando was shitty, right?
Orlando is
New
literally
Orleans
just a Cowboys
was shitty,
jersey.
Dude.
Just the basketball Cowboys.
Eric saw the New Orleans one and said, "Yo, is that a Spurs alternate jersey?"
It's
like,
just the normal Spurs black jersey with gray, but it says NOLA, and it wasn't that cool.
That's fucking crazy. Looks like the Nugs are up 13-5 in the first couple minutes here. That's nice.
Oh, alrighty. Well, I think.
Should we make some predictions for the game? You know,
yeah.
some game predictions?
I mean, obviously the Nuggets are gonna win.
Yeah.
Jokic is gonna have 27 and 12 and 9.
Who's gonna have that stat line? You said.
Well, let's say Murray goes for 30 because he hasn't really had a big game yet, and I feel like he needs to bounce back.
Murray's gonna bounce back.
This might be his night.
I think Joker definitely gets a triple double, or if not, like you said, a Sombor show where Sombor triple double where he's just one rebound short.
That's the classic.
Oh, I do feel like I sense a Jokic triple double, and
or at least very
either
close
like
to
Murray
it.
or like.
And Luka's still gonna have big numbers and do a lot. I'm sure.
Ah,
Yeah, Luka's nice, man.
That's where we're at.
He's
Okay.
nice, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely fucking nice.
But yeah, I think we still can take it in the end.
Yeah, how much do you think we win?
Give them their first L. I think it's pretty comfortable, and you know.
I'm gonna say 8 points.
Yeah,
points.
around there. Not a super blowout, but they're not.
5 to 8.
Not too close.
Yeah, and Murray bounce back game. Nikola Jokic near triple double, if not a triple double, and
some more blocks from Swatson too.
More blocks from Swatson.
More blocks from Swatson.
He's a dog.
Yeah, he is. He's a beast. He's a sneaky little guy.
He's big. He's a sneaky big guy.
Big
That's
guy.
what's dope about him. He reminds me of like
Lil as an
Murphy.
age.
He reminds me of like Murphy
size.
from the Pelicans, you know.
Yeah.
Murph.
I don't know that he's got as much of a 3 yet, but he can work on that.
He's been hitting a couple. Reggie Jackson, yo. I just want to say, for the record, Eric can back me up on this. Big Reggie Jackson guy, always have been, and he's proven to be running that second unit. What's up?
He's a Reggie believer. I was a doubter. Admittedly, he's been all right so far. We'll see. I think if he's in the rotation by the playoffs, that's a bad sign on the development of our young people, and ideally we have someone else stepping up in there instead. But you know, he can be the serviceable backup point guard if
he's going to be the captain of the second unit. I'm just calling it now, and he's going to take us to new heights in the playoffs. It's going to be good.
New heights. We're going to win 2 trophies this year.
Yeah, back to back. No team has done it since I guess the Warriors. The Warriors are always
actually literally for the first time ever. You can win 2 trophies this year, winning in-season tournament and the playoffs.
Yeah, this shit is definitely some clownery, but we're here for it. And
so we'll
we'll
add to the Nuggets trophies case this year and keep it going.
Hey, who's winning the in-season tournament for the West, bro? Call it right now.
The Nuggets, yeah, we said they're winning. They're winning the double this year. They're getting them both.
I don't think we win the double. I think we win the ship. I think we lose the in-game tournament, maybe in like not even the final round. But I think that the team that's going to win it, and just for like hype points, is going to be. I want to say the Clippers, but it's not going to be them. I think that it might be the Suns. I think the Suns are going to get that and be like, yeah, we're the shit.
The Suns. I think if a good team
and then lose in the playoffs.
If a good team win it, it kind of validates the tournament a little in that it's like more important. Where if like a random ass team wins, then you're like, oh, nobody took it that seriously, kind of thing. But I still think I don't know. Do you think there should be more on the line? Like people have talked about, maybe should there be like a playoff spot? I think.
I don't think there should be a playoff spot.
Halliburton mentioned it in an interview recently.
Yeah, that's what
saying. Like if there was a playoff spot on the line, teams would try really hard. But I think
that,
there's some weirdness with that, where like if your team gets locked for the playoffs mid-season, like do you have any incentive to play any more of the second half of the season?
At that point,
you're already in the playoffs. But,
low-key, I think the incentive should be the team.
You could still play for a high.
The two teams, the one in the East and the one in the West, as I understand it, that win the in-game tournament. Those two teams should be exempt from drug testing for the rest of the year. No drug test for the winning team for the rest of the year.
All the things.
Like, there's your incentive.
For
the entire team
enhancing
can
drugs?
take any drugs they want.
Anything.
For the
Okay,
entire
true.
season,
Like,
and not.
Well, I think
busted
they
for it.
already stopped testing for weed.
Okay, cool.
The NBA.
Okay, that's
so.
But
You're
so
good
this
at
is
knowing
just
that.
free use for steroids for the year, which seems a little unfair.
Nah. We're gonna let it ride because they're destroying their bodies long term. And honestly, in the NBA, being bigger, like that big, dude, that's not gonna help your knees and ankles, bro. It's just injury prone. So
Yeah, I'm sure there's some kind of illegal stuff that they're taking, or
that shit in
but
I wonder.
that shit in Space Jam, bro.
they could be taking Space Jam drugs.
They could be
Space
taking,
drugs.
Jam?
Or
Space
they could just be
drugs.
eating jam.
they could be taking that
Lots
special
of it.
stuff, dude, and just.
All right. Well, I think that's about all we've got for the first episode.
Time to watch this game.
Yeah, go Nuggets.
I mean, not that way. That way.
Getting high on Nugs, go Nugs.
Getting high
Remember
on nugs.
stay high on nugs.
Stay high. High.
Peace.